going on, Crypto Bulletin? Welcome to another crypto video, guys. Today we're going to teach you guys on how you will be able to make $500 daily by following these instructions, and I'm going to show you me doing it live right now. So you guys are not going to want to miss out this information. So usually what tends to happen, guys, if you're using Deck Screener, if you're using Photon, if you're using these other tools like Trojan trading bots, you guys are missing out on life-changing opportunities by not using the correct tools, because you're going to want to be able to identify these tokens. And the best tool right now is Pump.Vision. If there's another tool that comes out that's better than this, I will let you guys know. But you guys are, if you're not using this, you guys are missing out on generational wealth, because this helps you identify coins really, really well. Link is down below, so you guys can go ahead and join Bullix and get 10% off of of gas fees. So that's going to help you out. Plus, you also get airdrops by trading, which is cool. So what exactly makes Pump.Vision so good, right? There are other versions or other programs that do it, but they do it so well because you're able to identify plays. And I'm going to show you guys a technique right now called YOLO, which is going to help you guys be able to identify these plays. Now, I've already given you a video where I show you guys my filters on how you're able to filter these out to make sure you get rid of the trash and you only keep the good stuff in, right? So we have new creations, we have about to graduate, and we have graduated. These are three columns that are extremely important, but the one we're going to be using today is the graduated one and the new and about to graduate. So what does it take to make 500 SOL? Right? So basically you need money to make money. It's going to take 1.5 SOL to be able to double that, to be able to, for you to get, 500, right? So basically what we're looking here is we're looking to invest 1.5 SOL. Now you could theoretically invest less. You could invest one if you just want to make, $300. If you want to make $200, then you could just invest 0.5 and so forth and so forth. It all depends. I'm just giving you guys this 500 range because a lot of people want to make 500. So we're going to need 1.5 SOL to make 3 SOL. When we make 3 SOL, we end up with $500, right? So, the price of SOL goes up and down. So every time it's going to change, but right now that is currently right now where the price of SOL is, it's in a very good state. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the YOLO strategy to be able to find it. And how does this actually work is by finding a token that we feel that could do numbers like this, hit 2 mil, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for tokens that are going to be able to do that. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we buy in the bottom, but we also want to be able to sell on the top. So we make that, we make that money back. And the main idea here is you want to get in a good, really good spot to be able to do that. So let's go back into Pump.Vision and see how that actually helps us identify these tokens. So I will have a separate video for the new creations. That's going to be a separate one because that's a different technique. We're going to just kind of pretty much focus on the about to graduate and the graduated. Those are the ones we're kind of primarily focusing on because we want to make sure that we trade a little bit safer than just the new graduate. The new graduation is a little bit more of a risky play. We're going to go into about graduation and graduated. Okay, so we need to identify 2 things. Number 1 is, does the token have a really good community? If it does, usually the token does really well. Number 2 is it a trending token, right? So basically that is literally the crux of the matter. The crux is it a trending token? Or does it have a good community? That's basically what makes a token fly. Now, that being said, I've had multiple people DM me and asking me if I could do private sessions with them and teaching them how to trade. That's something, we didn't think was a possibility or anybody was interested, but over 30 messages with the same comment, it kind of lets us to believe that a lot of people are interested in making good gains, before the BEM season's over or before all season gets over. So we are going to be opening something like that. It is going to be a paid option. So if you would like to be interested in something like that, or if you want to participate, let us know in the comment section below. I'm interested, so we can let help you guys. But we're going to be continuing making these videos to help you guys better understand. So we're going to look for the copy and paste method, and it's the YOLO method. Basically, what we're looking for is we're looking at what's actually doing pretty good and what does it have in common. So you see right there, we got 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs, and we have a cat and another dog. So basically, by just looking at the graduated, we know there is a one denominator right now. And if we count the dogs, there's about 7 dogs that are here. So that means dogs are doing really, really well today. So we have retarded dog. That one just passed through here. We have Joey, which is another dog. Okay. And we have Ray. We have Ray. Now, the thing we want to look here is we want to look at the market cap too as well to kind of give us an idea of people are actually buying into this token, right? If it's actually a sender. We have a cat here, and we also have another one which is called Light. So this is kind of, these are a little bit harder to predict because these are just like one-time hitters, but you could still get into these. They do tend to do pretty well if they are kind of like one-hit hitters that have nothing in common right now. You know, kind of just like what Dollar did. You know, it's something that didn't have nothing in common. It started a trend, but it did really well. So we're going to look for, because we have illusions here. So right now, dogs look to be like the main meta right now. So what we want to look right now is for, okay, we're going to see if we can get into anything here in the graduated section that we could get into a very nice market cap. And with that being said, we're also going to see if there's anything in the about graduated that replicates that, right? So right now we have a couple, but we're going to look at the SID one that looks like it's about to migrate and see how well this is. So the first thing we want to do, of course, we want to do an analysis here before we get in here. Usually I don't like to get into tokens that are like in Pump.Fun, like around that 40 range, because that's usually when they tend to dump, and we want to avoid that, right? So we want to make sure we avoid that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go check Pump.Fun and see if anybody's kind of fudding the chart, because usually people tend to do that. And we're going to see if there's any FUD, if there's any CTO, if the DEX is paid. Usually I like to hop on TG before I make my decision. I want to see if there's a community, there's people helping push a token, you know, how base the community is, before I do any sort of, you know, kind of buy into here. But like, I don't really like to buy in that 40 range, because that means I have to wait till 80K. So that means I have to wait for it to migrate over to Radium to be able to make some good gains and some good profit. So what we're going to do here is we're probably going to hold back on this one unless it dips a little bit, or else we're going to look something in the graduated section. Let's see if we have a better play right there. So let's go over to the graduated section and see if there's anything here about the graduation, anything else that's kind of having traction here. I don't like, I mean, there's dog, but I don't like dog. Sid took a little bit of a dip. You know what? Let's move over to the graduated section and see what we can find over there. So from the graduated section, we have two. We have Joey or we have Ray. So I think we're going to go with Ray. Let's pick up Ray and see how well this does. And as you guys see, this is actually doing pretty decent. We are getting some sells. We are getting some buys, but it's getting a lot of volume. What we're going to do here is we're going to buy a soul. So let's go put one soul in here. And usually here, this is the YOLO. YOLO, what it means is you pretty much, it's, you know, it's one of those things where like you just kind of ape in. Right now, for video purposes, I'm only putting one soul because this is teaching you guys how to enter super low and how to make 500 bucks. You know, a lot of people don't have 20, 30 soul, 50 soul to put into a token. And, you know, that's what I like to teach. When you do have that amount, of course, you're going to be making more than $500. You're going to be making $2,000, $3,000 a day by learning how to trade properly. And that's why a lot of people that have that soul want to be able to have like private sessions. So I could teach them how to do these plays and constantly start trading over and over. You know, we have a call group set up. So if you guys want to join that call group, head over to our X account. Link is down below and click on that link and you guys will get access to the calls I make every single day. You know, when there's some really decent calls, usually we have a really good turn rate, you know, like about 95% pretty much of calls. You know, we don't get them all right, but when we do, like, they're bangers. So let's look at this one. So right now we got in here at kind of like around that 700 range. Usually for me to be able to double my money, I would have to get this to like the 1.4, 1.5 to be able to get that one soul to two soul. And if we would want to turn this into three soul, you know, we're looking like at a higher range, maybe like that 2 mil range. So right now we're looking at how the buys are coming in. So we're getting some pretty massive buys in this one that you guys are noticing. So those are like at least, you know, 20, 40 soul buys here. So really intensive here as we're looking to the chart. You know what I'm gonna do is I am gonna see if I could buy in here, maybe if I get this to 500 again. But in the meantime, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna actually call it in my call group to make sure that see if this actually looks really promising and maybe help some people print. I'm gonna call this like around 700K, and hopefully the people are ready to ape in here and you get a bite. So I think theoretically this play has a chance to 2x. So if people from the call group get in here around this time that I'm calling it right now, they will be able to 2x. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. So, and we're doing this live, so you guys are seeing this live. So I bought a little bit higher than I called it in my call group. So we'll see how it goes here. Sometimes it's tricky with these calls because people are like, dude, it's so high, I don't think it's gonna go any higher. So it's one of those things. But we're constantly watching this chart as it progresses here. Right now it looks pretty steady. It doesn't look like it's doing like a major dump. It doesn't look like it's doing a major pump, but it looks pretty steady. I bought a little bit high. I'm not worried about that. I'm like, okay, we got some nice buys here. 6 soul buy. All right, I'm with that. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay, so it's doing pretty good. We're still on negative here, but we're not tripping. It looks like a very healthy chart, and we're getting some. Oh, dude, what the heck? Was that 71? What the heck just happened, bro? No way. Yo, this is about to start sending, brothers. This is about to start sending. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. You guys are watching this live with me, bro, as I'm doing it, which is really cool and something I like to watch. So if the people on my TG hopped on this call when I made it, they already 2x'd. They're already 2x, bro. It's like it's done. So it's one of those things. I bought a little bit higher than what I called it, right? So you guys see here, sometimes when I call the calls, they dip, and it's usually what I teach people is like buy the dip and sell high, right? That's basically what I teach. But this chart is looking sexy, boys. This chart is looking really, really good, man. So it's one of those things, when I was talking and making the video earlier, we could have bought in a little bit earlier, but we were making a video. Okay, so we had a big dump. That's perfectly fine because that's going to be eaten up. Yep. Just like what I thought. It's going to be getting eaten up, bro. It gets eaten up because people are, want to get in that dip. And usually the people that sell are the ones that bought really high, bought a lot over there, and then they end up selling. But people are buying the dip because they know this token has potential. And dude, I'm so glad we're actually doing this live. That's why a lot of people want to get these private sessions, bro. I'm telling you right now. So usually what tends to happen right here is we're looking at what we could do, right? So we put in 1 soul. So if we want to make, like 2 soul, we'll make 344. That's perfectly fine. Or I could just say, you know what, I want to make 3 soul, which is the $500 we were talking about that, right? So in order for me to make that, we're going to go see how high we need to go up in order to make that 3 soul, right? So right now we would need to go higher than 1.5. So that's going to put us like, kind of like around 2 mil, like around there, for us to make 3 soul. So for us to make 3 soul, it's going to be kind of like like about 2, like around there. Yeah, so that would be the amount that we need to, kind of sell out. We'll pull a sell limit right here and see how we're going. So let's keep looking at the chart. Now, how long this is going to take for us to actually get there, I don't know, because these are one of these things where it could just automatically start pumping and it could go to 10 mil like off the bat, or it could be like one of those things where it just kind of stays here for a while and we're going to be here for 3 hours long. So depending on how fast this chart starts moving, we're going to see if we either, keep streaming, I keep saying streaming, or keep doing the video, because I don't know how long it's going to take or how healthy this chart's going to look. Oh my Lord. Okay. Well, this looks more healthier. I think I might have to cancel my 2 mil mark here, because this actually might send, bro. Like this looks really, really, really good. Okay, so I want to see what it does once it hits a high market cap. Once it hits something like around 1.5, 1 point, kind of like around that range, and if it stays there, if it's correlates, it's correlating right now, because that's going to be my kind of like target to say, okay, this is going to go higher, or this is not going to go as high. So right now, we're pretty much in profit. Right now we're sitting very nicely in profit. We don't have to sell. We could sell if we want to, but this is when the thing comes. And I try to tell everybody in my call group, it's like, I could only tell you when to buy. I cannot tell you when to sell, because what tends to happen is some people like to diamond hold, right? Some people are like, bro, I'm going to put 1 soul in here. It's going to 100 milli, right? In their mind, and the token doesn't go to 100 milli, it dumps, or it does really well, and they end up losing. Or you have the people who are like, you know what, all I want to make is I want to make 20%, I want to make 30%, and that's perfectly fine. It's going to be whatever you want to risk, how long you want to hold. Of course, the longer you hold, and if it goes super duper high, then the more profit you're going to make. opposed to, you know, you playing it safe and being like, okay, you know what, I'm okay with just making, you know, $80, $90, and that's perfectly fine as long as I'm winning, which is what I like to teach. I like to teach is, you know what, you don't have to go for those big hitters, even though like sometimes I personally do, as you know, do that, but you don't have to do that. You could literally be like, you know, when like they say, I'm gonna leave this, it's either a milli or dust, right? So whenever you get to that point where you have enough SOL or you have enough to invest, you can literally do that. So for example, this one, right, we have right now we have 1.36, which is perfectly fine. But if this were to go even higher, right? If this were to go even higher, and I could be like, you know what? I think I could sit in this token just a little bit longer. Let's see this potential. Let's see how high it goes. And it could hit 10 mil. It could hit 5 mil. So, you know, I kind of want to figure out how much am I willing to risk? How long am I willing to stay on this token to see if it actually pumps that high up, right? Because that is basically like the idea when it comes to trading. As you see right here, we're holding very nicely here. It's having a very nice hold right here, and it's something that you want to see whenever you're trading. You want to make sure that the chart's not dumping. Like for example, there was a token that came out, I think it was yesterday, called Goldie, and dude, that token did so bad. It did very well. I hate to use the word bad because basically the dev just waited till it hit 3 mil, and he literally dumped the chart. So it's one of those things where it's like, do you want to risk it that could happen, or do you want to just be like, you know, I'm gonna catch out here at 1.3? And I'll be perfectly fine with that as long as I'm winning. So it's always, you know, that thing that you want to have in the back of your head to see if you're actually doing that or what you're doing. So once again, guys, we are here trying to see what this does. I mean, it really did pump really high. I mean, these massive buys are really time telling in the sense of knowing how high people think this is going to go. If people start dumping 100 SOL, 20 SOL, 30 SOL, they're not going to blindly dump these SOLs. Okay, that's not going to blindly happen just because they're like, oh well, I think this one might do well. No, they are like dumping these SOLs because they know it has really good potential. And as you see right here, like the chart looks completely green on the buys, boys. The chart looks really crazy. It looks really healthy. And you know, it's something that you want to see, especially when you invest in a token. You want to make sure, like, you know, the chart looks clean. I'm actually going to see if there's a dip. Like if there's like a 500, 700 dips, I could buy a little bit more. I'd probably dump a little bit, like 5 SOL in there, because it looks like it's doing pretty good right now. It looks like we might get a dip. No, we're not. People are not letting this dip. This is just literally keeping a nice solid floor here, which is what we'd like to see, right? So right now, the way this chart is looking, it looks like it's primed to at least hit 3 mil. At least that's like my idea. Like, you know, this looks like it could hit 3 mil. Now, the longer this takes, it's gonna, you know, we're gonna have to sit here for a little bit longer. So I don't want to extend this video too long. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna post the P&L on my TG, and I'll be posting the P&L on the X account, so you guys can see how far we took this token and how we wrote it. Basically, if we get this to 10 mil, that's at least 12 SOL. 12 SOL is like about $2,000. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys would be happy for that if you just put in 150, right? Or like 170, and you made $2,000. Are you guys happy with that? Would you guys be happy with that? But we're gonna have to wait and find out. Are we make 2,000? I know for sure we'll make 500. So what's the question? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below before I post the P&L. Are we making 500, 2,000, 1,000, or are we just making, you know, $300? Let me know in the comment section down below. Well, for one thing for sure, we're making that 5. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? I hope you guys are enjoying. Whoa! I hope you guys are enjoying this content. Make sure you guys keep it locked here and don't miss out on these plays, guys. Please do not miss out because we are dropping bangers every single time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.